Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines: polling progressing smoothly for fourth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Electioneering campaign in full swing for fifth phase of assembly polls in West Bengal along with by-polls in different states. India and Netherlands announced launch of strategic partnership in water sector and setting up a fast-track mechanism to facilitate bilateral trade. Tika Utsav to be organized from tomorrow across the country to control the surging COVID-19 cases. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage nears 10 crore. Country records highest single-day spike since outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic with over 1,45,000 new cases. In Chhattisgarh, complete lockdown to be enforced in 8 districts from this evening amidst rise in COVID-19 cases. Rajasthan government imposes night curfew in 9 cities till 30th of April to curb pace of COVID-19 infection. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Delhi Capitals in Mumbai this evening. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, follow all precautions and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Polling is progressing smoothly in West Bengal amid tight security for the 4th phase of assembly elections. Voting is taking place for 44 seats in 5 districts in the 4th phase. The districts are South 24 Parganas, Hooghly, Howrah, Cooch Behar and Alipurduar. 52.89% polling has been recorded till 1:30 p.m. Polling will continue till 6:30 in the evening. Over 1.15 crore voters are deciding the fate of 373 candidates. The state is witnessing 8-phase elections. Large numbers of voters can be seen standing in queues with their face masks amidst rising numbers of COVID-19 cases. Considering the pandemic threat, polling stations have been well sanitized and voters are maintaining social distancing in the booth premises. They are allowed in after thermal screening by ASHA workers and COVID protocols are followed throughout. The Bharatiya Janata Party and ruling AITC are contesting for all the 44 seats, while Congress, left parties and their alliance partner Indian Secular Front are fighting under the banner of Sanjukta Morcha. CPI-M has fielded 22 candidates, BSP 13, Congress 9, AIFB 6, ISF 4, RSP 2 and CPI 1. There are 153 independents along with 73 others also in the fray. Now we go over live to our Kolkata correspondent Madhuparna Dhar Chaudhary for the update on the polling.
Yes, Valsa, like previous 3 phases, today also we have seen large number of people, large number of voters. They have come out of their homes and they are standing in long queues since this morning. And it seems that in today's phase also, the voter turnout will cross at least 80%. Valsa?
Right. Madhuparna, tell us what security arrangements have been made to ensure free and fair polling.
Yes, Valsa, almost 800 companies of central forces have been deployed to keep the entire polling process free, fair and peaceful. Particularly today, 6 assembly constituencies under South 24 Parganas come under the ambit of Kolkata police area and 102 companies of the CRPF along with 4,000 Kolkata police personnel. They are deployed to keep the polling process peaceful. Since this morning, no major untoward incident has been reported in these areas, which is considered to be very sensitive, and since last evening, Section 144 had been imposed within 200 meters of the polling booths and polling is going on amidst tight security. Valsa?
Yeah, also tell us about the high-profile candidates contesting in this phase, Madhuparna.
Well, sir, in today's phase, so many heavyweights are in the fray. Union Minister Babul Supri of the BJP, he has locked horns with the State Sports Minister Arup Bishwas for the Taligan seat. Minister and Trinamool Congress Secretary General Partho Chatterjee, Ministers Arup Roy, Indranil Sen, Tapon Dasgupta, Javed Khan, they are contesting from the Trinamool Congress, whereas former Minister Rajiv Banerjee, MP and former actress Loket Chatterjee, former Mayor of Howrah Rothin Chakraborty, they are in the fray from the BJP. Sujan Chakraborty of the CPIM, Abdul Mannan of the Congress are also among the heavyweight politicians, whereas former footballer Bidesh Ranjan Bose, former Bengal Ranji captain Manoj Tiwari, actors Josh, Shravanti Pyle and Kanchan Mullik, they are contesting and they are considered as the important candidates from South Bengal. Valsa?
Right, thank you, Madhuparna, for all those details. And we are now joined by our correspondent Manas Pratim Sarma, who is at Alipurdwar and covering important districts of North Bengal, including Cooch Behar, where polling is being held today. Manas, how is the polling progressing there?
Well, Valsa, polling is going on smoothly at Alipurdwar district. No untoward incident has been reported and all the COVID protocols are being followed. Proper security arrangement has been made at Alipurdwar. And there are some reports of EVM had to be replaced early in the day due to technical glitches, but no untoward incident has been reported at Alipurdwar district. However, there are some incidents of violence have been reported at adjoining Cooch Behar district. In two separate incidents, 5 persons have been died in firing. After the death of 4 persons, the ECI has ordered to stop the voting at 125 number polling station at Sitalkusi in the Cooch Behar district, and a detailed report has been sought. Back to you.
Right, Manas, tell us how significant is the fourth phase of assembly polls?
Well, regarding significance, we could say that there are 44 seats in this phase, which is a huge number. If we talk on Cooch Behar and Alipurdwar, there are 14 seats. In the last Lok Sabha election, BJP won both the seats. So after that, TMC Supremo and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had given more concentration in these areas, and she has campaigned a lot in these two districts. Along with that, the BJP has also campaigned here. United Front also tried to woo the voters. So all the parties are trying to get maximum seats out of 14 in these two districts. Back to you.
Yes, Manas, also tell us who are the heavyweights in the fray in the two districts.
Well, regarding the key constituencies or the key contenders, right now I am at Alipurdwar. TMC has fielded Saurabh Chakraborty. For BJP, Suman Kanjilal is contesting at Alipurdwar seat, and the Congress has fielded Deva Prasad Roy. So this seat is expected a triangular contest. At Dinhata, BJP has given ticket to the sitting MP Nishit Pramanik. He is up against TMC's Udayan Guha. At the Natawari seat, this is also important. The senior TMC leader and minister Rabindranath Ghosh is contesting against BJP's. Back to you.
Right. Thank you, Manas, very much for that update. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged the people to vote today in West Bengal Assembly elections in record numbers. He has especially requested the youth and women to vote in large numbers. The Election Commission has ordered the adjournment of poll in polling station 126 of Shitalkuchi Assembly constituency of Cooch Behar following violence in the area. The Election Commission has said the decision was taken on the basis of interim report from special observers. The Election Commission has sought the detailed reports from special observers and CEO by 5 p.m. today.
Meanwhile, campaigning is in full swing for the fifth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal, along with by-polls in different states. Top leaders of various political parties are crisscrossing the poll-bound constituencies in West Bengal. Senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed an election rally at Kawakhali in Siliguri this afternoon. Speaking at the rally, the Prime Minister appealed to the people for Ashol Poriborton and Sonar Bangla. He spoke about the development that will take place if BJP comes to power in the state, where police will work according to law and administration, will be accountable to public while government will be responsible and BJP workers will serve the people. Several other parties, including Trinamool Congress, are also campaigning in the state. 45 assembly constituencies will go to polls in the fifth phase in West Bengal on the 17th of this month. The campaigning is also going on by elections to 2 Lok Sabha seats including Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh and Belgaum in Karnataka, along with 14 assembly constituencies in 11 states where polling will also be held on the 17th of April. The seats where by-polls will be held include 3 in Rajasthan, 2 in Karnataka and 1 each in Gujarat, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Telangana and Uttarakhand. Election Commission has asked political parties to observe COVID-19 guidelines in all seriousness, saying in cases of breach it will not hesitate in banning public meetings and rallies of the defaulting leaders. The Commission has taken a serious view of the laxity in maintaining norms, particularly not wearing masks and not keeping social distance by political leaders on stage in the ongoing elections. In a letter to leaders of all national and state political parties, the Commission said instances of election campaigns came to its notice where norms of social distancing, wearing masks and others have been flouted. The poll panel said by doing so, the political parties and candidates are exposing themselves as well as the public to the grave danger of infection. It added that political leaders, campaigners and candidates are expected to be torchbearers for the campaign against COVID-19 and they should not only follow the guidelines but also exhort people attending elections, events to follow COVID protocols. Reiterating its earlier guidelines, the Commission has sought cooperation from political parties and candidates for the strictest observance of COVID protocols. It has urged the leaders to demonstrate by personal examples and nudge all supporters at the beginning of the rallies and meetings to wear masks, use sanitizers and also put in place crowd control measures.
India and the Netherlands have announced the launch of a strategic partnership in the water sector to further intensify ongoing cooperation and better coherence in the area. Joint Secretary in the External Affairs Ministry, Sandeep Chakraborty, informed about this while addressing the media in New Delhi last evening after the India-Netherlands virtual summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Netherlands counterpart, Mark Rutte.
India and Netherlands have strong cooperation in the water sector. Few of the ongoing collaborations between the two countries, these are the Dutch-India Water Alliance for Leadership Initiative, Diwali, which is a platform for designing solutions to water challenges, and also Lotus HR, which is local treatment of urban sewage streams for healthy reuse, which is being implemented in several cities, including in Delhi. In order to further intensify the ongoing cooperation in water, the two leaders announced the launch of a strategic partnership on water. To start with, they agreed to elevate the joint working group on water to ministerial level. They also discussed to broaden bilateral cooperation in new areas of water, including water budgeting, cost-effective decentralized treatment technologies.
Mr. Chakraborty said both leaders have agreed to elevate the joint working group on water to ministerial level. He said both sides have announced the setting up of fast-track mechanism to facilitate bilateral trade and to resolve issues of Dutch and Indian companies. The Joint Secretary said the two countries also discussed collaboration in the field of agriculture, urban development and space. During the summit, Prime Minister Modi suggested setting up of a joint working group for cooperation between the two nations in the field of millets. On regional and global issues, the two leaders reaffirmed the commitment to multilateralism and agreed to work together towards challenges of climate change, counter-terrorism and sustainable development goals and pandemic. In a joint statement, both leaders also reiterated their commitment to ensure equitable and affordable access to COVID-19 vaccines to all countries and agreed to cooperate in this regard. Both Prime Ministers welcomed the joint announcement on setting up of a bilateral fast-track mechanism for investment facilitation and issue resolution. Both leaders emphasized the close convergence between each other's vision for a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Polling progressing smoothly for 4th phase of Assembly elections in West Bengal. Electioneering campaign in full swing for 5th phase of Assembly polls in West Bengal along with by-polls in different states. India and Netherlands announced launch of strategic partnership in water sector and setting up a fast-track mechanism to facilitate bilateral trade. Tika Utsav to be organized from tomorrow across the country to control the surging COVID-19 cases. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage nears 10 crore. Country records highest single-day spike since outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic with over 1,45,000 new cases. In Chhattisgarh, complete lockdown to be enforced in 8 districts from this evening amidst rise in COVID-19 cases. Rajasthan government imposes night curfew in 9 cities till the 30th of April to curb pace of COVID-19 infection. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Delhi Capitals in Mumbai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Tika Utsav is being organized across the country from tomorrow to fight the surging COVID-19 cases. The mass vaccination program will be conducted till the 14th of this month. During his meeting with chief ministers of various states on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had appealed to the states and union territories to organize vaccination festival. We have a report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for a mass vaccination program from tomorrow till 14th of this month and observe it as Vaccination Festival. 11th April is the birth anniversary of Jyotiba Phule and 14th April is the birth anniversary of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Mr. Modi has urged the youth to come forward and help senior citizens and others who need help to register for COVID vaccination. All eligible persons can register and book an appointment with the help of CoWIN portal and Arogya Setu app. On-site registration facility is also available. India is witnessing a rapid rise in COVID-19 cases. People are requested to come forward for vaccination. Pragya Devada, AIR News, Delhi.
India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage is nearing landmark achievement of 10 crore mark. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry informed that over 9 crore 80 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine have already been administered across the country. Over 34 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been inoculated in the last 24 hours. The ministry informed that maximum number of over 1,45,000 new cases have been reported in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the total positive cases to over 1 crore 32 lakh. This is the highest number of cases since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. A total of 794 deaths have been reported in the country within one day, taking the toll to over 1,68,000 across the country. 5 states, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh and Kerala, cumulatively account for over 72% of India's total active cases. Maharashtra alone accounts for over 51% of the total active caseload in the country. Amid the rising new cases, the recovery rate has further declined to 90.79% in the country.
In Chhattisgarh, 8 districts will be under total lockdown amid rise in COVID-19 cases. Lockdown will begin in Rajnandgaon, Bemetra and Balod districts from this evening. Lockdown is already in effect in state capital Raipur and neighbouring Durg district. Jaishpur, Korea and Baloda Bazar districts will be under lockdown from tomorrow. The concluding time of the lockdown differs in these districts. Meanwhile, the COVID vaccination campaign is continuing vigorously in the state. Till now, more than 38 lakh people have been vaccinated in the state. More from a Raipur correspondent.
In Chhattisgarh, more than 2,27,000 eligible people have been vaccinated against COVID-19 yesterday. The vaccination drive is being conducted in over 3,000 sites in the state. Meanwhile, the state government has appealed to the people to give correct information about themselves while conducting the corona test so that in case of found positive, their treatment can be started immediately. The government has also said that in the event of information being hidden or not giving the correct information, an FIR will be lodged against the person concerned. Meanwhile, more than 11,400 new COVID positive patients have been identified yesterday in Chhattisgarh. Besides, death of 63 persons were reported during 24 hours. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
To curb the pace of COVID infection, the Rajasthan government has decided to impose night curfew in 9 cities, including Jaipur, from tonight. The night curfew will be between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. and will remain in force till the 30th of this month. The cities include Ajmer, Alwar, Bhilwara, Chittorgarh, Dungarpur, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Kota and Abu Road. Markets and commercial establishments will be closed at 7 p.m. Night curfew has also been imposed in Udaipur from 6 p.m. Markets and establishments will be closed there at 5 p.m. in the city. These orders will remain in force till 30th April. We have a report.
The government has decided to restart the street war room at the state level and district control rooms in all the districts round the clock. Health department has also decided to increase testing in areas with more than 5% positivity rates of infection. Meanwhile, 3,970 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the state yesterday, while 12 people lost their lives. A record 767 persons tested positive in Jaipur district alone. Apart from Jaipur, a large number of COVID cases have been reported in Jodhpur, Kota, Udaipur, Ajmer, Alwar, Bhilwara and Dungarpur districts. The number of active cases has gone up to 24,000 in the state, whereas 3,27,000 people have been recovered so far. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
The Uttarakhand Cabinet has decided to impose night curfew in the state capital, Dehradun. Spokesperson of the Cabinet, Subodh Unyal, told media last night that an order in this regard will be issued soon. He said schools with classes up to 12th will be closed till the 30th of April in Dehradun, Haridwar, Nainital and Haldwani due to increase of corona pandemic. In the wake of increasing cases of COVID-19 in Maharashtra, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has called an all-party meet this evening to discuss the situation and steps to curb the spread. The meeting is expected to be attended by prominent leaders of the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance, along with the leaders of BJP, MNS and other political parties. The state is currently under a strict weekend lockdown from 8 p.m. on Friday till 7 a.m. on Monday. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Strict weekend lockdown is ongoing in Maharashtra to break the chain of coronavirus infection. Blockades have been imposed in various parts of Mumbai. Police are on patrol to prevent people from roaming the streets for no reason. Citizens are allowed to go out only for essential work. Thane Police Commissioner Vivek Fansalkar has appealed the citizens not to leave home unless there is some urgent work. All shops in Sangli and Ahmednagar district have been closed except for essential services. Traders and citizens have responded positively to the administration's appeal. The weekend lockdown in Satara and Dhule district has also received positive response and all transactions are closed except for essential services. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
Thailand has decided to close all entertainment places in 41 provinces including Bangkok for at least 2 weeks as COVID-19 cases linked to them spread rapidly across the country. According to the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration, CCSA, new cases linked to pubs, bars and clubs in Thonglor area of the capital. CCSA spokesman Dr. Tavasliv Visnyothin told media that closure was imposed from yesterday after Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha signed the order. The closure decision comes just before the long Songkran holidays next week when millions of people will hit the roads for vacations or family reunions. Among the 41 provinces where all entertainment venues will be closed are Bangkok, Ayutthaya, Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Songla, Surat, Thani and Yala. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that homeopathy is playing an important role in fulfilling the healthcare requirement in the country with its integration and modern medicines. Addressing a conference on homeopathy roadmap for integrative medicine in New Delhi today, the minister expressed satisfaction that widely popular homeopathy is progressing on the basis of systematic and comprehensive research as a system of medicine. He said Ayush system of medicines were used in COVID-19 in an integrative manner in designated COVID treatment centers, which showed impressive result. He said National Health Policy of India recognizes the need to nurture Ayush system of medicines through the development of infrastructural facilities, improving quality control of drugs and capacity building of institutions. Central Council for Research in Homeopathy under the Ministry of Ayush is organizing a 2-day conference on homeopathy. The event has been organized on the occasion of World Homeopathy Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy.
In Maharashtra, 4 people were killed after a fire broke out at a hospital in Nagpur last evening. Over 20 patients and their family members were moved to other hospitals and are undergoing treatment. The fire broke out at 8:10 p.m. at Well Treat Hospital in Wadi area of Nagpur. Nagpur Municipal Corporation's Chief Fire Officer Rajendra Ujke said the fire reportedly started from the air conditioning unit in the intensive care unit ICU on the 2nd floor of the hospital. He said the blaze remained confined to that floor and did not spread further. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with other important dignitaries, have expressed grief at the loss of lives in the incident. An explosive volcanic eruption has blanketed the Caribbean island of St. Vincent in ash and smoke and forced thousands of people out of their homes. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves urged more than 16,000 residents in red zones to evacuate. St. Vincent's National Emergency Management Organization said the volcano had spewed dark ash plumes 6 kilometers into the air. Ashfall has been recorded as far from the volcano as Argyle International Airport, some 20 kilometers away. The Soufriere, which has been dormant for decades, first started showing volcanic activity in December, but that increased this week.
In IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings will take on Delhi Capitals at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai today. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. We have a report.
Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium will host its first match of the season between Dhoni-led Chennai Super King and Rishabh Pant, led Delhi Capital in Indian Premier League. The clash between two giant wicket-keeper batsmen will be thrilling. The Delhi Capitals had their best season last year, making it to the final before going down to Mumbai Indians. On the other hand of the spectrum were Chennai Super Kings, who fared poorly and had their worst IPL in history. CSK MS Dhoni would want to erase the memory of IPL 2020 and start afresh this season. Rituraj Gaikwad and Fafa du Plessis are likely to open the batting of the three-time champions, while the opening pair of Delhi Capitals, Shikhar Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw, is one of the most formidable in the tournament. Dhawan was in scintillating form in the previous two editions after he changed course from anchor to aggressor. Sports Desk, AIR News.
The 14th edition of the Indian Premier League kicked off yesterday. In the opening match, Royal Challengers Bangalore defeated defending champions Mumbai Indians by 2 wickets at the MA Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai last night. Chasing a target of 160 runs, Bangalore won the nail-biting match in the final ball. Skipper Virat Kohli gave RCB a good start, scoring 33 runs of 29 balls. Meanwhile, AB de Villiers also made a match-winning contribution, hitting 48 runs in 27 balls. In hockey, India will take on Olympic champion Argentina tomorrow at Buenos Aires in the FIH Pro League match. This will be India's first match since they played Australia in the FIH Pro League match in February 2020 at Bhubaneswar. Indians are currently 5th in the FIH Pro League standings with 10 points from 6 games with 2 wins and as many losses and draws. World champion Belgium is atop the standings, followed by Germans, Netherlands and Australia.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. In national capital Delhi, the maximum temperature is expected to be 38 degrees Celsius, while it recorded a minimum of 20 degrees. Mumbai, with a partly cloudy sky, is expected to see a maximum temperature of around 33 degrees. It registered a minimum of 24 degrees. Kolkata is witnessing partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The city is expected to have a maximum temperature of around 35 degrees. It witnessed a minimum of 26 degrees. Chennai is having a partly cloudy sky with a temperature moving from minimum of 23 to maximum of 35 degrees. Srinagar, the sky is partly cloudy. The temperature will rise from a minimum of 7 to a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius. Jammu is having mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 17 degrees, while the maximum to be around 33. Leh is witnessing partly cloudy sky with a maximum temperature of around 9 degrees. The minimum temperature was -5 degrees Celsius. Gilgit is having partly cloudy sky with temperature rising from minimum of 6 to a maximum of 24 degrees. Muzaffarabad is having clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening. Maximum temperature will be around 27 degrees. The minimum was 9 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Polling progressing smoothly for 4th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Electioneering campaign in full swing for 5th phase of assembly polls in West Bengal, along with by-polls in different states. India and Netherlands announced launch of strategic partnership in water sector and setting up a fast-track mechanism to facilitate bilateral trade. Tika Utsav to be organized from tomorrow across the country to control the surging COVID-19 cases. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage nears 10 crore. Country records highest single-day spike since outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic with over 1,45,000 new cases. In Chhattisgarh, complete lockdown to be enforced in 8 districts from this evening amidst rise in coronavirus cases. Rajasthan government imposes night curfew in 9 cities till 30th of April to curb pace of COVID-19 infection. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Delhi Capitals in Mumbai this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.